We are still talking about how to start a successful poultry farm in 2026. And last time we left off, together with Robert, we left off somewhere because we were interrupted by internet and all that. So for today, we are going to resume right from where we stopped on the type of breed that you should consider raising in 2026. Which one is going to give you a lot of ease? Which one is going to be more profitable in 2026? And with us once more, we have Robert of Poultry TV. As usual, we first going to hear what Robert has to say about poultry farming and his opinion about whether to raise layers or broilers, and then we shall come to your reactions and the questions and everything. Then we shall close. All right. Those of you who haven't visited both our channels, there is an interesting story. Actually, I got to be interviewed by Robert. He's the first person to get an interview from me. So you should go and watch out that interesting conversation we had with Poultry TV and endeavor to subscribe on Poultry TV for more farming tips. All right, let's start. Robert, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. How are you?
I'm okay, Hajat. How are you? Good evening, everyone.
I'm okay. And our dear viewers, thank you for tuning in this early. I hope you're having a wonderful time. So, we're going to go straight into the topic. Robert, which breed do you think is going to work for people in 2026?
In 2026. Now, um, the ideal choice depends on your goal.
Okay. Mm.
But on your goal, capital, time commitment, like that. But now, this is what I'm going to do. Mhm. Today network is clear. Thank you, everyone. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about broilers. I'm also going to talk about layers.
Mm.
It's you out there. Why is my voice?
Your voice is what?
Hello?
Just a second.
My voice is repeating itself.
Your voice is what?
It's making an echo.
Mm.
Am I clear now?
Are you using earphones?
No, not at all.
That could be the problem. How about now? I can hear you.
I'm getting signal.
What could be the problem now? I have no idea.
Hello? Have not that yet.
Okay, I'm going to remove you shortly and then you use the same link to join again. Okay?
It's okay.
Just a minute. Uh, okay. Do you hear my echoes as well, or mine is clear? Okay, let's add him back. Okay. How about now? Still the same problem? You can't hear me.
Hello?
You can't hear me.
I hear you, but the word is repeating.
Let me see. Let me see.
Someone is lost now. Problem.
Yes.
And I've not
Let me see. Wait.
hello. Hello.
How about now?
Hello. Hello.
Okay, let's start. We're going to start the live again. Okay. Just a second. Just a second. How about now? Still the same problem? Okay. Then restart your phone. Try to restart your phone. I'm going to remove you and I will restart your phone.
Let me restart.
Okay. Oh, this is bad. Okay, but as we wait for him, once again, I welcome you to our live, and we are looking at what's the best breed to start with. One of you actually brought up this topic last time, and we want to find out which one is the best breed. If you asked me, and I would love to see the conversation in the chat box, which one do you think would do best in 2026 in our poultry farming industry? Let's have a chat as I go through who is here as Robert settles his phone. So I would love to welcome Kids Green Acres. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Hamza, as usual, you're present. I can see. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, the last interview was nice, but I don't know. I don't know why this technology is actually doing us this dirty. It's playing dirty with us, but trust me, we shall overcome. We are hoping even this chat to be even more interesting, you know. And last time I actually mentioned that if you are a farmer on this channel and you always watch our lives, I can actually host you as well, and you give us a presentation. It's okay. Even right now, I can actually add you on the live, and you give us you know a presentation about poultry farming. It is okay. Deal TV, you're here. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate your presence. It means a lot. Uh, Kids Green Acres once again. Today the network is clear. Thank God. But again, Robert is having some echoes. I hope it gets clear again. Nani Oganda, hey, I want to come back to start poultry. Though I have little capital, but I'll start. Of course, you will start. There's nothing like little capital. Actually, someone told me that the best capital you can have is actually your brain. Your brain. Okay. 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 Uh, I'm going to call him again. Badru, he's distorted. Okay. Okay. Who else is here? All right. I'm going to link the invitation link in the chat box. If you're ready, you can always come in and we have a conversation as we wait for Robert to, to repair his issues. I don't know what even causes those echoes. This technology, you can never figure it out all. Uh, Green Acres says, for starters, I think broilers, but as you advance, then layers can do much better. Why do you think so? Why do you think broilers are good for starters? And why then change? If I've started with broilers and they are working for me, why would I change? Hmm? King's Green Acres, kindly continue with defend your opinion. Why are you saying that? Hmm? Okay, let's see his back. Let's see if the problem has been fixed. Let's see if the problem has been fixed. Hi, Robert. What's going on? Still the same problem. Could it be me? Could it be me?
Hello? Hello?
How
Hello?
about
Hello? Hello?
hello?
Let the viewer out there.
This is bad. It's so disappointing. Okay, for those ones, uh, Green Acres. I've just shared the link in there. Maybe he's connected to YouTube and the link. How does that? Uh, how is that? How can you? How do you deal with that? The mad boss. Okay. As we figure out what the problem is, I've shared the link in the chat box. Kindly, I think I should just select someone from here. Green Acres. He should mute YouTube. Ah, wait. Maybe it could be my problem. Okay, so I have shared the invitation in the chat box, and I don't know, you all poultry farmers here, right? I would love to invite King's Green Acres. Are you ready for a live chat? Are you ready for a presentation? King's Green Acres. I think broilers require less capital to start, though less profits compared to layers. But once you've accumulated the capital, then you can go on with layers. Uh, Robert, you can use. Oh, you at work, sorry. Robert, okay. Robert, you can use the same link to join. You can use the same link to join Robert, and also the link is in the chat box. Use the same link, sweet dear. Use the same link to join. And a poultry farmer who is in a comfortable position, you in a comfortable place to join the link, and you're ready to talk about this topic. You can join use this link. I'll add you to the chat, and you give us a presentation or you give us your opinion about poultry farming, especially in prospect with the coming year of 2026. We are all now planning and we want to start. Come 2026, we want to start right away because some of you have been planning. Now, the question becomes which breed must you start with? Which breed must you start with? Join the live stream using the link. But maybe to give my opinion, as you people are making up your mind on whether to join, the link is there. Just click into the link. You just going. I'll add you to the live chat, and then you start presenting. Okay. If you asked me, looking back at all the events in 20, look at the events of 2025, you know, and all the farmers that I have worked with in 2025. The market, the entire project of poultry farming, the entire industry of poultry farming, how it is moving. And this is something I miss. Robert,
Yes, madam.
you feel you okay?
Me, I'm okay. You should be now.
Can we start now? I was a bit. I was coming in for you. I was stepping in for you. Going to give my opinion about what I think will work best in 2026. But now you're here. It's okay. We can start from there.
Now we are saying that what the choice depends on the capital you have and the time commitment. Now, leaving that aside, for breeding, the capital which are the meat production. Then on the side of layers, they take a how they have can think of which one do you might had your TV
I think you have opened both YouTube. Are you using two phones? No, it must be on. Maybe it's interfering somehow. It's somehow interfering. You switch it off somehow. But you also muted your phone. Don't mute your phone. You remember you told me you muted your phone to cut out the calls. Unmute it.
when I reach the what should I do now?
You remember you told me that you are going to mute your calls. Don't mute your calls, I think. Don't mute them. Have you unmuted your calls? Okay, how is it now? Oh. this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. I think turn off one thing. Yes,
Hajat,
please.
let's try this thing. Let me give you first put me off.
But it's like you're getting better.
I'm getting better.
It's as if you're getting better.
Hello? Hello? I'm still having the echo here.
Okay. But you're saying he should put off one thing, but he's using one phone. Hmm? Okay. Let me give my opinion about broilers, layers, and local chicken. Now, from experience of the whole of 2025, you know, someone actually guessed where my opinion will be going. I looked at the industry and the entry barriers. So to to agree with Robert, what Robert was saying, it depends on you mostly, especially how much money you have, uh, the resources you have, and when we say capital, usually we talk about the liquid capital. That's the money mostly, and then uh, we also look at when you have the liquid capital, and then when you have the capital of you as a person, how resourceful are you? You know, are you like Fridaus who is having running like a visible social media online presence? That when it comes to marketing, it's not going to be difficult for her. Then it also comes down to where you're going to do your poultry farming from. Those three things, they will determine which type of breed you are going to do. For example, if you are someone like me who is in an urban setup, the breed I would recommend someone to start with is actually going to be broilers. You know why? Because broilers, you're going to keep them for a very short period of time. And these broilers, they have a steady market. They have a steady market in the they have a steady market in the city centers. So if you are someone who is in the city center and you are going to raise birds, you have a space where you're going to raise birds. Urban setups are good for broilers. First of all, even these broilers are not so sensitive when you compare them to layers. They're not so sensitive. Now I'm not even talking about
Hello? Hello? Hello?
So I was saying that if you're in an urban setup, broilers are the best breed to start with. They are not so sensitive. Now I've not even mentioned about the other things that you're supposed to start with. But when you're raising them, when it comes to management in the urban setup, broilers are so convenient. They are convenient to raise, and the market will be available to you readily. In urban centers, people are eating chicken every single second. Even when you choose to sell these, when it comes to when it comes to marketing these chickens, these broilers, it's going to be easy for you to sell them to maybe supermarkets, to land deals with the supermarkets, to land deals with the restaurants and hotels. It's going to be easy for you. So, in my opinion, right now, if you asked me, because I'm in an urban setup, I'll go with the broilers. But also, there's something about broilers that is coming up that most people are not actually. Most of them have seen it, but others are not seeing it yet. They're not taking advantage of it. These broilers, you can raise them even these rental houses. For example, if someone was trying out poultry farming and it didn't work for them, they are so convenient. You can raise them from those rentals. Also, there's also this idea of contract farming. I don't know how many of you have heard about contract farming, where you become someone's outgrower. It's some people in Uganda they call it out being an outgrower. But contract farming actually benefits people who are doing broilers, and it's the trend right now. I'll give you an example of a company called Biyinzika. It's one of the biggest chicken, what can I say, chicken farmers right now in the country. Those ones I know of. There are those ones that are big, of course, but they're a bit hidden. They are silent. So when you look at, for example, Biyinzika, they have so many outgrowers. They have so many outgrowers, but do you know what even happened to them? They are also supplying one of the biggest companies in the whole world, the chicken companies. If I think you can even guess. So a company like Biyinzika can land a deal with a company, let's say KFC or OCJ. So that means if you become a contract farmer for these companies, this is what's going to happen. Of course, if you do your calculations very well, these are people, they'll give you the chicks, they give you the chicks to raise them, they'll give you the feeds to raise for them. They will also, of course, the market is there, you will not have to worry about the marketing. So that means that if you become a contract farmer with, let's say, Biyinzika, then your life of poultry farming is going to be easy. It's going to be easy. And this trend is only open to broilers. So if you look at broiler farming, it's a bit flexible. It gives you lots of options. And then still, if you're looking at broiler farming, there's something also which is going to come up, and more people are going to really invest in it next year if we make it there alive. Next year, people are going to enter into processing chicken a lot. It has started. There are visible signs in this year, this ending year. So, in the coming year, this is going to be a great deal. People are going to enter into processing. If you're a broiler farmer and you embrace this, it's going to work for you. How does processing work? You raise your birds from day one up to after the 6th week. You do not raise them for 1 month, but you raise them for 6 weeks. At 6 week, your target weight is about 3 kg, such that when you slaughter this chicken, it's going to make 2.8 kilograms. And you're not going to sell a live bird. You're going to slaughter that bird and you sell it in kilograms. If you even have an opportunity, you can actually buy a freezer and you start packing these chickens when you have slaughtered them. So I'm saying this trend, it has actually hit the market this year. People have now opened their eyes. They are no longer into just selling live birds. And before, what was making broiler farming quite difficult, it was because people were, were relying on middlemen to buy their birds. But people are now smarter. They're now targeting the final consumer. You're targeting the final consumer. Even in the earliest stages, you can actually target the final consumer. How? By going into processing. There are so many butcheries, these slaughterhouses that have come about, these small butcheries. Before, we used to know that it's only goat meat, beef that used to be sold at the butcheries. But these days, you even find chicken being sold at those butcheries. So when I look at these indicators, when I look at these indicators, and I'm in an urban setup, it means the best breed to start with if you're an urban farmer, it's broilers. And first of all, and the other thing is that you can actually make a profit off broilers even when you are raising a small number of birds, even a hundred broilers. You can actually make a profit off that money. And if you are very careful with that money and you reinvest it before the year ends, you should you would have increased on your or on the number of birds that you do every cycle. Those are the when I look at the key indicators in our farming, in our poultry farming industry. If you're an urban setup, then you should consider raising broilers. And also, the suppliers of these chicks are quite many. The local suppliers of these chicks, and they are quality chicks, by the way. Now we no longer have big companies dictating where to get your chicks from. There was a bit of shortage in the previous month, but I think now it's been solved. Of course, it was because of the festive season which is coming up. People tend to hold out their bookings. I don't know. It's intentional. They do it intentionally, but also we in a political season. So what most people are doing is that these people who are campaigning, they are giving out these chickens to their electoral college, as a motivation for them to be voted into power. So if you asked me, in an urban setup, broilers is the best deal in 2026. Then, if you're someone who is having a farm somewhere quieter, somewhere which is less, less crowded, there are no disturbances, then layers are the best breed to start with. I love layers personally, because they give you time to learn, time to plan. Broilers don't give you that much time to plan because you have to be in business. After brooding 2 weeks, when these birds are making 2 weeks, you must ensure that on your farm, there is another batch you're brooding. But these layers give you a period for you to plan properly. For example, if I want on my farm to have 1,000 birds, I'll first of all bring 500, and then when this one start laying, I can now bring in another batch of layers of day old chicks. So I love broilers because they give you time to plan, and they give you this flexibility to also do other things, look at other things like building a community and all that, building this base with your customers, which may not be which time you may not have with the broilers, because you have to be all the time, you have to be producing, all the time you have to be in production, all the time you have to be in production. And the other thing about layers is that, of course, once you choose to go in for broilers, I mean for layers, you must have some money. Don't start with the birds below 500. It will not make any business sense. Layers, they have a small profit margin, or especially if you're selling eggs. Because in Uganda right now, the problem with layers is that the eggs, they have almost a constant market, and there's sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. There's a challenge of fluctuating prices of eggs. But once you master how to sell your eggs and how to profit from those eggs and how to utilize this small amount of money that you're getting on eggs, it's also a great deal. So if you are in a quieter place, you have your liquid capital, which is going to allow you to to raise these birds, especially not below 500. Then layers are good birds too. Then we have the local chickens. Those of you who are looking at the local chickens, to start with the local chickens in 2026, they are also a great deal. They're a great deal. And what can I say about local poultry farming? Everything is just straightforward. And I do not lie, there are some things that farmers are not telling people out there. When you're raising local birds for commercial purposes, consider that you're raising them as the same way you raise exotic birds, because you're going to keep them inside, feed them from inside. It means you're going to feed them the same feeds that you'll be feeding, let's say, the layers or the broilers. So let no one lie to you that, oh, they are flexible with the feeds. No, no. The beauty with local birds is actually the fact that you have an upper hand with the local bird in the market. People love consuming local birds, especially people who are still traditional. People who have, let's say, traditional events like marriages, introductions. They love that hardy muscle in the local chickens. But also there is a business. There is a business side to local chickens, because there is this movement about local chickens that is ensuring that every farmer or everyone out there is actually doing local chickens. That means that if you tap into that movement and you start selling, let's say, day old chicks, and you have a variety of birds at different growth stages, it means you're going to be in business as well. So all in all, in 2026, as you have seen, we have the poultry farming industry is still so wide, so wide, so wide. And whichever breed you choose to venture in is just going to work for you. It comes down to you. How have you prepared, and where you feel comfortable? Uh, where you feel your experience actually will benefit you more. It comes down to that. Uh, have you understood how you're going to play around with your market? Have you understood how you're going to make sure that whichever money you're getting from these chickens has actually is helping you to scale up your farm? Those are some of the questions that you must ensure you have answered clearly before you open a farm in 2026 or you resume your poultry farming career. The future is bright, but me, I'm seeing it brighter when it comes to broiler farming. I may be honest with you. It's not that I don't love chickens and eggs and all that, but like I mentioned, if you're looking at being a community person, building a strong community of poultry farmers, and then doing just more than poultry farming, then the best breeds you have to choose is layers and the local chickens. Those ones will give you that flexibility. The broilers are going to give you the flexibility of entering into the processing market. That's where I'm seeing the opportunities when it comes to poultry farming next year, if we are alive. So brace yourself with the right information, do market studies, and see what's going to work for you in the market next year. We had a lot of disturbances in today's live. I'm just going to find out what went wrong with Robert's phone, and hopefully we shall have him in the subsequent days. I can't promise tomorrow. Tomorrow we might have another person like that, just to make sure our experience on our live shows is good. We should have that experience. Otherwise, let me just go through your comments and then we shall call it a night. Uh, well done, dear. Thank you. For local, my must be able to talk on camera too. For local, my must be able to talk on camera to make it. That's very true. That's very true. What Deal TV is saying is very true. You have to first establish yourself in the market and how be online. Like I mentioned, it's a movement. And the movement you have to be very, very visible. You have to make sure your presence online, it has to be there. That's when you make it. You have to convince people to come and buy from you. In my current video, I was just talking about that idea of how to build this strong community of loyal customers who are going to buy from you, even when you told them that a trove of eggs is how much is 30,000. They will buy from you without even a flinch. So what Deal TV is saying, it's very, 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 very true. Make sure you are present. Make sure you are present and you do a lot of convincing for you to build that loyal client base. Hamza, always appreciating. Thank you so much for sticking with me in these live shows. We are working so hard to make sure we improve our experience on these live shows. Unless otherwise, thank you, Fridaus. Kindly elaborate more on monetary terms between layers and broilers profit-wise, assuming you have 500 birds for each breed. Well, where is my calculator? Unfortunately, the calculator I would have used is the same phone I'm using. That's quite broad, but it's very simple to do. The calculation is very simple to do. With the, let's say with the, I'll just use a hundred to make because my numbers off head, my mental work when it comes to numbers is not so accurate. So let's just imagine for you to raise 100 broilers. Yeah, for you to raise 100 broilers, you might need about you may need between 900,000 Uganda shillings to 1 million. Trace them from day one up to the fourth week, and then you're most likely to sell them. You're most likely to sell them and make a profit of, let's say, between 300,000 to 400,000 Uganda shillings. That's broilers. That's per cycle. And if you're doing that cycle in, let's say, in 4 weeks, that means in 4 weeks you are making a profit of between 300 to 400,000 Uganda shillings, depending on the market and how best you can uh, you can you can you can do what you can market your birds. Then when it comes to layers, it all goes down to, because you're going to be picking trays. Actually, I had this calculation somewhere. I had written it somewhere for layers. For calculation, when it comes to eggs, you have to calculate weekly. Someone actually came up with a very good formula of how you can calculate your profits when it comes to layers. Do it quickly. I mean, weekly. Look at how much you're investing in the feeds. How much are you feeding these birds per week? And then after that, you add some miscellaneous like the water, the vaccine, the vitamins, and all that. Then that number subtracted from the amount of money you're going to be getting when you sell those trays of eggs per week. How many? Let's say in a hundred layers when they start laying. Let's say at 85%. That's how we always calculate them at 85%. If they're laying at 85%, the 100 layers, they'll give you how many trays? They'll give you between, okay, they should give you at least 3.5 trays, between 3.5 to 4 trays a day. So in a week, how many trays are those? Um, how many trays are those in a week? After getting that number of tray of eggs, and then how much are you pricing them? Usually, there's also another trick about those eggs. When you get these eggs, sort them. We have those ones that are extra large, and then we have those ones that are medium. You sort them and sell them at different prices. That's also another way of profiting from these layers. So when you get, let's say you're selling a tray at 10,000 or 11,000 farm gate price. So in 7 days, how much is that? Yeah, someone is saying 21 trays. So let's say 11,000 times 21 trays. How much is that per week? A layer, you're most likely to spend, let's say, if the prices are normal, feeds for prices are normal on each bird, you're most likely to give them to spend, let's say, 1,500 Ugandan shillings per kilo on each bird. Mm. But I mean, a kilo of feeds, it's between 1,000. Usually, it's 1,500 Uganda shillings. So, a chicken, a layer, a mature layer, it's between 120 to 125 grams a day. So you can do the math, but maybe I should just come back and do that math in the next live, because right now I don't have any piece of paper, I don't have a pen, I don't have a calculator, so I'm just all over, you know. But you do it weekly. Sit down and make calculations, you know. I also made a video on my channel. There's a video about how you can profit. You know, you can profit from layers and how you can market those eggs. I made some calculations in that video as well. Okay, so it's like 21 trays in a week. We're talking about a week or your agribusiness. Because if we are using, let's say if someone is getting between 3.5 to 4 trays from a hundred broilers, we expect 85%, we expect 85 eggs per day. A tray has 30 eggs. So how many eggs are those? Yeah, if I'm correct, if I say 3.5 trays a day. So when you multiply that in a week, how many trays are those? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to gamble with the numbers here, but let me come back with. Oh, you get the math. Okay. So that's what we are trying. We're talking at the profitability. With layers, it's easy to make these calculations. The problem is when you get this little money, when you get this little profit, how do you handle it to make sure you, first of all, stay in business, but you also scale up? That's where the whole idea of poultry farming actually becomes sustainable. If you're able to use this little money, 300,000 shillings you've got from the broilers, how do you reinvest it in the second cycle so that you keep growing? Uh, I'll come back with the math. Maybe next time I'll come back with the math and we do proper calculations here with you. I think this topic is quite crucial for farmers who are starting in the next year. We need proper math. So I think I should come with my board next time I come live and we do proper calculations. Otherwise, I'm going to wish you a great time. Who didn't I mention? Grace, you're here. Aurea, agribusiness is here. Amza is here. Uh, yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Gold Farms is also here. Badru, I really appreciate Deno. Eh, this one is, I'm just saying Sarah. This is a very difficult name. But thank you for tuning in. I don't know if you're all still here. The Mad Boss is also still here. Okay. Just that I'm seeing a few likes on the live. I know it had a few issues, but next time we're going to improve. just bear with us. We're just starting out. Just make sure this experience is also good because I like it because it's interactive. You get to interact with people properly, and I just love the experience. Anyway, today I have stretched it to 50 minutes. That's not so me. Anyway, I'm going to wish you a great night. Those of you who are in Uganda, in Africa, those of you who are not, have a blessed time. See you either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Bye bye.